Hey, welcome back to the Epic Web3 podcast. My name is Alex. I'm CEO and co-founder of Epic Web3. We run events for Web3 builders all over the world. Our next event is in Dubai near Token 2049. Join us. And today our guest is Sipan Vardanyan, the founder of Hexens, a cybersecurity firm, and also Remedy, which is the platform for cybersecurity. We will talk about it later. But yeah, Sipan, hi, how are you? How's it going?
Hey there, doing great. Thank you so much, and thanks for inviting me here. Excited.
Yeah, always. You can see my hoodie today. I wear.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm prepared. I'm prepared. So yeah, can you start with briefly describing the story behind Hexens? So as I see, you worked for about like 13 years in Web2 cybersecurity, and about 3 years ago, you decided to switch to Web3 security, right? And now you're launching a platform. So can you briefly tell about it?
That's right. Thank you for the question. So yeah, my journey in cybersecurity started more than a decade ago, and basically more than a decade we've worked together with my close friend and now partner and co-founder of Hexens, Vahe. So we were managing a huge cybersecurity, offensive security experts team. We were doing penetration testings, offensive security of any type, basically red teamings, etc. And we always loved to secure critical infrastructure. And we did that for more than a decade. So we deeply understand what cybersecurity is about. And when we got passionate about the blockchain tech and decentralization and immutability and all this fun stuff that Web3 has to offer, like it was practically a no-brainer for us to combine these both passions of ours and start Hexens from scratch. In 2.5 years, I believe that Hexens exists. We did a lot. We actually did a lot. Really proud of my team.
So you started from scratch. Was it a spin-off from the previous company or the
No,
same
we didn't
team?
brought
Or
anything. We
okay,
started just together, me and Vahe, without any connection in the space, without basically even understanding where should we go and where should we start. We had to figure out everything on the fly.
nice. And you didn't have experience in Web3 before?
Well, no, that would be a lie. So we actually spent more than a year just learning, just for fun, attending to different CTFs, doing different type of tasks, and of course doing code review. For that time, we didn't charge money. We were doing it just for fun.
Okay, okay. And the previous company, is it alive still?
No, we're
Okay.
fully dedicated to Hexens and the spin-offs of Hexens. Because
Yeah,
what a Hexens is about, we started as an auditing boutique, but
yeah.
we're a product first company and we have a mission to reimagine and recreate the Web3 security infrastructure from the scratch. Because we see that Web3 has many different places to improve, and we have exactly the skill set and the dedication to do so.
Nice. Yeah, well, I will definitely ask you about the products, different products you're launching. But before that, you've been doing this security audits for less than 3 years, right? So you're like relatively new player in the space. But as far as I see, you are quite successful, and you have big names in your portfolio. You have a long line of clients who are waiting for your researchers to become free. So what is the secret sauce?
Well,
What?
you're absolutely right. We're new to the space, but not to the cybersecurity space, but to the Web3 space, let's call it. And I believe that the key driver for Hexen's success was just total dedication to our job, just passion about our job. We did not came here to grab easy money. That's I believe the biggest point. We're doing cybersecurity because we're passionate about. We are doing code reviews and we're keeping the auditing boutique because we love the job. and that's the biggest difference. We're not doing it for money. So the auditing part is mainly is there to bring reputation, to put our name out there, to basically to give us ability to show off that we can do better than you.
Yeah. And how big is the team now?
Hexens is
Yeah.
62 person at this point, 62 people,
Uh-huh.
and the auditing part is only 16 out of those. The
What
rest of the
the
team
rest?
is working on the products, and
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So, how can you describe the Web3 security landscape today? So, there are definitely a lot of security audit providers, like service companies. There are some platforms, technical solutions. So, how do you see it from your point?
I believe the landscape of cybersecurity in Web3 it's super immature. It's super like baby steps kind of thing, and I'm more than sure that there is going to be lots of really cool innovations and um, new type of solutions are going to emerge, because the ones that we see right now, they're clearly not working. You don't have to be an expert to understand that a field which is like this small, losing billions to each year to hackers. This is the biggest metric. You don't have to have another metric. Like Web3 is all about single point of failure. Unfortunately, it brings so much, but again, it's super high risk place, because basically your money is on the code, right? And having a bug in just one code can lead to a black hat monetization. And we don't see this in Web 2. That's the biggest difference, because in order for a hacker, a black hat hacker, to monetize his skills in Web 2, he will have to do like hell lot of steps. It's not just two steps guide. You know how to earn money being a black hat in Web 2. That's why uh, I predicted like lots of hackers from Web 2 adopting Web 3 and started hacking here because it's easy way, and black hats always seek easy ways. So we're gonna see this. We're gonna, yeah. I believe the place deserves better than we have right now, but I also understand that whatever happening right now in the field in terms of messy cybersecurity, let's say, and messy safety, it's rather natural. It's a part of an evolution.
Okay, what are the some kind of technologies or platforms trying to tackle the security issues? For example, I've seen definitely several solutions which provide some kind of a real-time attack detection and prevention tools. Some other monitoring solutions. We will talk about remedy for sure. So, what are the most interesting technologies you see in the space?
Well, that's actually a great question. So yeah, I do actually see that there is a lot of startups being born that exclusively like target like monitoring slash alerting thing, and it is kind of necessary, but it's not the point of the most pain, I would say, right?
Okay.
Because monitoring and alerting, like, yeah, you kind of can know about the incident when it's already happened. So yeah, I'm more excited to see how new types of like emerging tech will be born in a space in order to protect it. Because as I said, like pretty much standard like static analysis toolings and SAM grabs and all the stuff that we see in the place. It's definitely useful, but it's not the level that the field deserves. Yeah, looking forward to see more and more developments in the space. And
Yeah.
of course, as pioneers in the space, Hexens is working on some really like mind-blowing things too, and some of them are already released, and some of them are going to be released really soon.
What do you see? What do you think are the main, the largest security problems in the industry? The main vulnerabilities, the main way to exploit these vulnerabilities.
Well, if we're talking about statistics, of course, it's smart contracts.
Yeah.
It's vulnerabilities in smart contracts. Yeah, I would say that's the major point. I would say like bridges, decentralized exchanges, all of the DeFi is under a huge risk. And people pursuing a venture in Web3, they should understand that it's by default Web3 should be called as a high risk place.
What do you think about vulnerabilities for the end user
Oh,
when
that's a whole different story, but it's not less significant, I would say. Like a big chunk of the money that we're losing to hackers and scammers in the field is, of course, going through phishing attacks and attacks on the retail side. I would say one thing both projects and retail are sharing is that the trouble is lack of information, is lack of being informed about the latest risks, is lack of channels to get that information, lack of the threat intelligence, as it is in Web3, just don't exist. So always do your own research. Be cautious and be conscious about what you do in Web3.
and never connect your main wallet with lots of funds to strange websites.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
okay, so you're launching the platform Remedy, right? So I think that's probably the dream of every service company to launch their own product. You're doing it now. So can you start with briefly explaining what Remedy is, and I will add some
Sure.
questions then.
There is no brief explanation, but if I try to put it in words, it's a 360 security platform designed by white hats for white hats and for the projects who seek to be on the highest possible level of being secure. Remedy is a platform where we experiment. It's a crazy experiment of ours. So what we're doing, we're innovating 24/7 and we're shipping new features each week. And the main goal is to have a place where we combine all so much needed solutions, technologies, and sometimes even super innovations to help hunters find more bugs and to help companies stay secure and stay ahead of black hats. So that's short about Remedy. Of course, it consists with different features or different
Yeah.
parts, I would say. Yeah.
I think you started with Glider, right? As a main
Glider is
feature
totally the
product.
bet.
Yes.
Glider
Yeah.
is the bet we make. Yeah. So glad you asked. So let me tell you a bit about Glider.
Yeah.
So Glider is the revolution in Web3 security, and I'm trying to be humble here. So the tool that we brought is the very first Solidity query language, which means that anyone in the field right now can go to r.xyz, register an account absolutely for free, and start using the tool. What you can do with the tool, you can describe any pattern or any scenario, or basically filter out anything you want in a query. And then we give you an ability to run that query across all the deployed smart contracts, across all the EVM like chains. So basically, it's a vulnerability search engine that looks at all the Solidity code that exists and publicly deployed. So instead of concentrating, we took a different approach here. And instead of concentrating on finding vulnerabilities on specific projects, we're doing vice versa. We're taking a specific vulnerability and looking for that vulnerability across all chains. And we already opened up the access to basically everyone. The tool is free. And at this point, it is enabled with only the Koban network. Yeah, I know it sounds funny because it's so old and deprecated, but that's exactly the point. So right now, my team is working on the integration, on the public integration with the Ethereum mainnet. And we're talking basically to all the major L1s, L2s, and everybody loved the tool. The security teams of blockchains, they tend to be super smart, I would say, and they're grasping like really quickly. They are understanding really quickly what the tool is about, and they see the full potential. That's why right now we're really working closely with all of them and doing the integrations which are going to be launched. step by step during 2024.
So at this point, you're not integrated with any mainnet, right?
We are, but not for the production that you can publicly see. So of course we have like a 2 weeks, 1 week or 2 weeks in advance internally to like to test everything out, see that there is no bugs, etc., and then we push it to the production and users can see it.
So there will be some announcements soon, I suppose, right?
Oh, of course. But I would urge like everybody who is interested in the cutting bloody edge tech to register at RXYZ right now, because it doesn't matter if right now you see only Coven Network. You can start writing your own queries, and just in a couple of days when we open up the Ethereum mainnet, you kind of will be able to run all those pre-written queries on the chain and be the first to catch the bugs.
Nice, nice. And you mentioned that it's kind of your own language. What is it based on?
So that's a good question. So how the engine works? We are using a very easy to understand and limited version of Python. And we chose this deliberately because like everybody knows Python. And instead of creating our own programming language, we just gone with using that. Also, Python gives you ability of practically filtering out arbitrary logic. So you can actually describe anything you want, and there is no bullshit AI underneath. So everything works works deterministically, and that's the whole beauty. So you will never get a false positive. The only way is writing not so superior query.
And what is the main use case? So is it true that the main use case is to easily find like a lot of vulnerabilities, not manually,
No.
but semi-automatically, right?
Yeah. So the glider, the coolest thing about glider is the technology that powers it. Like we've been building that tech in stealth for more than 2 years, and we just got the very first alpha version of it, and we publish it, so you can go and check it out right now. But it's the baby steps of the tech. It's actually a really complex technology to build, right? Because we each time you making a search on the glider, we're actually compiling and like iterating over all the instructions or functions or whatever there is in the world in Solidity code.
Can you elaborate on that? So what is the main complexity? For me, as a non-technical person, it sounds like, okay, like just search, everything is I don't know, open source, everything is on chain, right? So
Right.
you can just crawl and find
Yeah, you cannot do that on scale. You cannot do that on scale. So imagine like the easiest, when you register an account on r.xyz, like and go to Glider, you will have a couple, like 3 to be exact, sample queries. So
Okay.
those sample queries with comments on each line are created like for the user to understand the full capabilities of the tool. And the very first one, it's super easy, but it's super efficient. It's just so beautiful. So what does the first sample query? It just iterates over all the instructions and functions in the world in Solidity code and bring up the self-destruct calls. And after that, it's filtering out the ones that can be called by anybody, basically unpermissioned ones. So what does that mean? It's like 5 or 6 lines of code in Python that you're writing in basically a couple of minutes, right? And then you're looking for basically all the vulnerable smart contracts that you can burn right now. This is
Okay.
how efficient the tool is. Or for example, there is a ERC777 reentrancy vector as a sample in the samples when you register an account. So that one is also very, very beautiful and super efficient in finding these types of bugs. But of course, it requires learning the product. There is a learning curve a bit to that, but the outcome is super big. So the ROI of an average hunter would be really high there.
how many hunters, how many white hats do you expect to have on the platform? So how many are them in the world? I mean, how big is the market?
Market is not that big, but market is not big in any numbers, not just hunters or developers or builders. Like the field is just small, and we all expect it to grow. And right now we're in the middle of the bull run, right? So
I hope in
this
the
cycle
beginning.
will each cycle bring more and more people to the field,
Yeah.
and we're proud to pioneer the field when it's small, right?
Okay.
We're proud to experiment and deliver and shape really cool products and technologies while there is only 1,000 people using it, basically.
Yeah. And so you are basically disrupting the smart contracts audit industry, and you provide this platform for free for the white hats, for everyone, I suppose. So what are your plans on monetization?
Who cares about monetization? I don't. No, that's a joke, of course, but
No, but
the
that's very
short
popular
answer is
opinion, especially in Web3. Like, don't care about revenue, just raise
yeah.
money,
The short answer
issue a
is
token, and and you're good.
The short answer is we want to reach a state where the user loves our product, not just
Okay.
likes it or not just uses it because he have to. And we definitely don't think about monetization at this stage because the market is too small and our roadmap is vast. We're here for a very long run. I imagine like our plans on the product development goes like 7-8 years from now on. Like yeah, yeah, we're up for a mission to reshape the whole Web3 security infrastructure, to build a products and solutions and toolings for each step and each step of the cybersecurity lifecycle. So starting monetizing now on a tool or on a bug bounty is just not the strategy we want to pursue. We don't particularly need revenue at this point, not because we're funded, but because we're bootstrapping much of it. We're earning, I would say, significant sums through audits, doing security reviews and stuff. So yeah, we kind of can do this without monetization for the next year or 1.5 years.
Nice, nice. So okay. So yeah, you can afford this vision,
Like
kind of,
I
right?
really hate that. One thing I really hate that I see in a space that many projects are just kind of middlemaning security researchers' findings or money. Like the whole business is based on the 10% commission or wherever. We're taking a whole different approach because Hexens and Remedy exist to empower security researchers, not middlemen their findings.
Okay.
So yeah, in 1.5 year from now, we might have some ways to monetize, but I'm absolutely sure that we will keep lots of the stuff on the freemium side uh, because the field needs it.
Okay, but yeah, it takes some resources. It takes a lot of resources. So you have more than 60 people already. You have big plans. I think you raised about 4 million a couple of years ago. You have some maybe significant money inflow from your security audit business. But do you have plans to raise more this year during this cycle for this new vision?
Probably, yeah, but not because of money. Frankly saying, we can go bootstrap from now on and never raise if we want to, right? Because we're already profitable even without having monetization on the products. But the thing here is, yeah, it might happen if we found positive sum games or partners that share our mission and share our values and actually see the vision that I see the prosperous and safe Web3. Yeah, it all depends. I would say it all depends. But there is absolutely no immediate need for Hexens or Remedy to raise funds. Yeah.
One of the questions you can not answer, but I was when I saw the domain name like RXYZ, my first
It costs a
thought.
lot.
Yeah. So like it should cost fortune. I mean, I don't
Actually,
know.
not that much. Actually, not that much.
I
We
don't
were
know.
super
Six
smart and
figures, 6 figures, 5 figures,
kind of high five figures.
high
Like,
five
yeah,
figures.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
that's
super cool
not so
domain,
bad.
and
Not so
it was
bad.
a catch. Like, it was a catch.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Oh, I'll wait to see my email s@r.xyz. Basically, two letters.
Yeah,
Two
nice.
letters and and the TLD.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Do you have some plans to launch your token in the future?
Wow, this is the question that I like absolutely hate.
Really?
No, like, I'm a bit skeptical
Okay.
about launching any kind of token that has no real life application or has no utility. I will not say that definitely no, never. Hexens is not gonna do that. Probably we even we will, we probably even will at some point, but it have to make sense, like in real world, not just doing like some trading pair out there, putting a trading pair out there and saying, okay, now this is my valuation and I'm publicly tradable. It's kind of not that serious for me.
How
But
how
when we
ma-
find the application, when we find the real utility for it, who knows? Why not? I mean, why not?
how many of the current tokens in the market do you think have real utility?
Oh, that's a provocative question.
Two, three?
That's really a provocative question. I don't know, man. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. So most of them don't, right? Yeah, I think yeah, if you can afford not raising money, or if you can raise money without promising investors 10x on the token or something like this, yeah, it's better not to. It's better not to have it until you have real utility.
The tokens with this short lifespan, like they're being born, they're being dead. Like it's all about finding, like, as I see, of course, this is my humble opinion, but it's the worst of finding the exit liquidity. And while Hexens values are exactly the opposite, we want to add value, not find somebody to dump our tokens on. Exactly the reverse. We want to find somebody to empower him with the latest, like, coolest and latest tech, and actually make them super efficient in their job. That's what we want to do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's talk about other remedies products. So your website also has a bug bounty program. So there are a lot of bug bounty programs out there, right? So y- can you tell a little bit about it? So you just launch it just to
Sure.
have it, or
Sure.
what are the plans
So
behind it?
yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So one of the main components of Remedy is the bug bounty platform that we've built, and we really believe that it's a next generation bug bounty because we reimagined lots of stuff. Because
Okay.
we have to apply specifics of the field, the domain specifics of Web3, to make it work. Like, I myself am a bug hunter for the last 10 years. Like, I've did lots of bug bounty, and I know the pay points, I know the frustration of the hunters, and I definitely know that in Web3 the game theory is absolutely broken when we talk about the bug bounties. I'll give you an example why. In Web 2, if you find a critical vulnerability, let's say Google or Amazon or some other big tech, like, it's tens of thousands of dollars. It's not a small amount, but it's okayish amount. And because of the well-known brands that exist 20 years, and you kind of, as a hunter, you kind of can trust them that they will pay out if you give up, if you submit your finding. And in Web3, when we talk about millions of dollars, and the biggest bug bounty right now is 15 million for a critical vulnerability, there are just non-existent mechanisms how to make it a bit more fair. Because
Mm-hmm.
when the hunter is already reported you the vulnerability, the company can just say something, it's a duplicate.
Yeah.
For example, it's a duplicate. And everybody who done bug hunting, they know like the biggest massive thing is getting this, that like the thing that stresses everybody out is when they mark where they receive their report marked as a duplicate. And then you ask, okay, are there any proofs that this is a duplicate? And they, excuse me, we cannot do anything. We reimagined many things in the bug bounty, and we've developed, and it's already running, and they're already going the first payouts, and I'm really excited about it. But one of the cool features that I want to talk about is the ZK prover that our team wrote at Hexens. Like at Hexens, we got one of the best novel cryptography security teams in the world. Like we did security reviews for the biggest ZK startups in the field. We did wrote absolutely from scratch our own general usage text ZK prover. So what it does and how we use it, we use it's already implemented inside the bug bounty report thread. So every time a hunter reports a vulnerability, we're taking the text message, we're taking the hash of that text message, and we're placing it on the Polygon ZK VM. So anytime the second bug hunter with a valid vulnerability comes and discloses the vulnerability, and we know it's duplicate, we're providing proof it's duplicate. We're not just saying, trust me. And we're providing this mechanism for everybody to use it for free. And
The
it's
proof
already deployed. It's already
without.
deployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can go on. Go on.
Yeah, I was saying it's already deployed, and every single time you create an issue at Remedy and you're reporting something inside the reporting thread, you can see how there is automatically generating the hash of your each of your message, and it's being placed on the ZKVM. So you kind of can track the timestamps on which block it was written, etc. And you will have an ability to prove that this hunter was the first or he was the second. Because imagine you're running a protocol and you got billions in TVL, and there is a critical vulnerability, and one hunter is already like he's getting paid right now, but then there is a second hunter which do not know about your history or that you already talk with the original finder, and he brings the same vulnerability. Now they both have the technical capacity to hack you, right? And all the project has to do is basically do everything to not to stress out the second one.
Yeah.
And we're giving this ability, and it's absolutely trustless, because one of the philosophies, one of the main philosophies of Web3 is trust is cool, but you have to be able to verify.
Yeah, and this proof. So you are able to provide this proof without actually revealing the.
Without revealing the whole message.
Yeah.
There are many reasons why exactly we're using this, because like in many cases in a single report there might be lots of different vulnerabilities, for example more than one vulnerability, and you don't particularly want to disclose two vulnerabilities for the second hunter who only knows about the one, right? And there's there might be some sensitive metadata, etc. So there's lots of edge cases.
Yeah, that's something that amazes me in the ZK technology. that
Yeah,
you.
it's very cool. It's very cool.
Okay, is it what is called ZK storage on your website, or is it something
Yeah.
else?
Because as I said, right now it's already integrated in the report
Okay.
thread, but we're planning to just opening it up for everybody for any kind of usage, because it actually can be used for myriads of different like reasons and different purposes, and we are up to opening it up for everybody and maybe even open sourcing it, and just see how many different use cases people come up with. Because the very first use case is of course the bug bounty and the duplicacy issue, but I believe this is one of the millions of different use cases.
Okay. Okay.
And again,
Okay.
we're making it free, like we're not charging for anything we developed so far.
Yeah. So can you tell about some next steps, further plans? So you mentioned that you have a roadmap for 8 years, maybe not so long, but I don't know, nearest.
Making hunters rich.
Okay.
helping them find more vulnerabilities and creating unmatched incentives. So we've seen that the place is really throwing money at value. Whenever we see somebody is doing a great job, he's fairly compensated. And it is true for the hunters too, but it can be even better. So what we came up with, Remedy will have a universal bug bounty program where you can report, for example, you using Glider and you found 20 different reentrances with just one query, right? So you got 20 bugs on your hand.
Yeah.
You can report those bugs, all of those 20 bugs, to the Remedy universal program. It doesn't matter if they are hosting or running a bug bounty platform, bug bounty program. That's the beauty of it. So in existence, there is like less than 400 projects hosting a bug bounty right now, and that's what, like couple of percent of the whole field. That's not okay. So that's why we've created this universal program where you can report vulnerability to basically any project. How this is going to work? Of course, we cannot guarantee a payout or a fair outcome in every single case because, again, they're not hosting officially bug bounty. But what I can guarantee is that Hexens and Remedy will do its best to address this issue, to find the contact, to actually reach the company, to reach the devs, and even help negotiate for you, for the hunter,
Mm.
because we believe in the fair outcomes and we believe in the win-win strategies. And even in those cases, there is going to be 0% payout for at least for the next year. So we're just here to help hunters from now on to earn more money, to earn reputation, to have all the necessary tools, and basically everything coming from a company that is not middlemaning your money. We don't share your money. We're not taking a part of it.
So you mentioned that the glider now works only with Solidity, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so with EVM based blockchains, do you have plans to integrate it with other blockchains?
Absolutely. The blockchain doesn't matter. I would say
Yeah.
the programming language
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And the next step that we're going to do like in during 2024 is the Viper integration, because it's pretty close, let's be honest. And we're actively thinking of creating an analog for the Rust. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, what I think I asked like most of my questions. Maybe I didn't ask about something important about Remedy or Hexens you would like to add, or if not, maybe just a couple of questions about the industry as a whole. Like, what do you think? What are you mostly bullish on during this cycle? What do you think which kind of projects you think will grow? So can you share your
I cannot
vision here?
predict the growth of specific markets, but I would say that Hexens and Remedies targets are going to be serious technologies. And I mean projects that actually have something behind them, but the cool logo or a naming, you know. So we'll only work with infrastructure projects, with projects that are innovating in the space, who are actually developing cool stuff, and we're this is what we love. We love to help pioneers to achieve new heights, to win. We help winners to win. And if we talk about like particular domains, I personally am super excited about the future of ZK and future different really cool real life applications of the ZK, and I just can't wait to see its adoption.
Yeah, what about other infrastructure narratives? I don't know, people are talking about modularity a lot. People are talking about Bitcoin layer twos. Uh, AI plus crypto is definitely a huge narrative.
Everything is
Deep
moving
bean,
so fast.
yeah.
Like seriously, Alex, like everything is moving so fast. No, sometimes I find myself not even keeping with the pace, because like it's some things are definitely is actually changing each day. But I definitely can say that we're on the moment in time where we are so close to singularity. This is, I'm not even joking, like things happening too fast. And wherever Web3 is going to be in a couple of years, it has absolutely nothing to do with what we have now. That I can guarantee. It's going to change drastically.
Okay, that's I think that's kind of an inspiring vision because yeah, if we see back like 3 years back, there was almost no DeFi, no L2s, no a lot of things, and yeah, a lot of things changed during this 3 years. So yeah, that's true. Everything is changing really fast.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, last question. So, what advice can you give to those launching their Web3 project, be it DeFi app or roll-up blockchain, in terms of security? So, what to do in terms of security?
Wow, that's a really cool question because, like, to be honest, I would take my time till tomorrow's morning to like talking about this question. But uh, to put it in a few words, be conscious and be cautious, right? Do your own diligence each and every time. Be super cautious all of the time, and remember that security is never enough. If you're seeking your venture in Web3, if you're building cool stuff in Web3, you should understand by default that you're doing that in a very high risk place. So all of your approach should be based on that. It's the main thing is not to die, right?
Yeah, but I
Because
think
like in Web3, it's a dark forest full of monsters and so much stuff happening. So really, the number one priorities will be just don't die, just survive your way out to the first users, to the adoption, and to the market fit.
totally agree. I mean, but I think you need to strike a balance between. You said that security is never enough, but
It
I
is.
think you need to strike a balance, like not to overspend on security, but still
Well, it's
having
pretty
having
simple.
enough. I don't know,
It's
do 20% of things
I,
that will give you 80%
I'm
of the
doing
result.
risk management and cybersecurity for almost half of my life, and I know a thing or two about them. And it's always should start with the assessment what you got, and then it should go with like what's your risks. Like you actually have to count your risks, and if you understand the cost of your risks, you know exactly how much you should spend to cover or minimize, basically manage that risk. So it's basically like in a very simple words for the Web3 degens, it should be a percentage of your TVL. So your risk should say how much you should spend on the security. And believe me, it's never enough. It's never enough. People think that one audit is a guarantee of success. Even 10 audits is not a guarantee of success or guarantee of not being hacked. Things happening. It's technology, and a single point of failure might kill you. Everybody's think they are not that guy, like that is getting a call from their, let's say, CMO at 3 a.m. and saying our protocol drained. You don't want to be that guy, and for that you have to utilize everything you find. You actually have to research every single tool, solution, and provider out there to understand who is your better fit, because that's the number one thing to do. And then, like, one of the mistakes that I commonly see in Web3 founders, look for your security partner in advance. And I'm talking like when you think about your startup, because most of the cool guys, like they're doing really quality job, they're overbooked. You cannot go there when you finish your code and say like, okay, I got money to do an audit for me. Like, for example, Hexens is overbooked. Like we always booked for the next 3 or 4 months. So we're talking sometimes like 6 to 9 months, 12 months in advance with the projects.
That's a long
Yeah, it
period,
is. It is.
especially in Web3. Yeah.
That's the trade-off of a getting really high quality audit, I would say. Yeah, yeah, things are not perfect.
Okay, I think that's it. Very nice talking to you, Sipan. Thanks a lot for coming. Very
Oh,
interesting.
my pleasure. Absolutely likewise. Thanks for inviting me, Alex. And stay safe, everyone.
Yeah. I think it was our first episode about security. I always, to be honest, I always thought that security is kind of boring, but I really enjoyed talking to you,
Oh, come
and I
on. It's
think,
the best job on earth.
yeah, I think we should do more content about it.
It's basically the best job on earth, and everybody who wants to create a career or continue a career in cybersecurity and Web3, like we've got lots of openings. Just go to hexens.io/careers, and yeah,
Nice. Let
talk
it
to
be.
you soon.
Let it be the CDA of our of our pod. Thanks.